It's Jack and Adam from Cultaholic.com, back where it all began again. It's time for the news.
What?
I don't know. First of all, a new stipulation has been added to one of the matches at Elimination Chamber. Some clues have potentially emerged regarding Kevin Owens' character when he returns from injury. And finally, we take a closer look at the incredible ticket sales for All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing. So yes, there has been a stipulation added to one of the matches for Elimination Chamber. It's Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin, and that will now be no DQ. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know why this is on at Elimination Chamber, if I'm completely honest. What's interesting to me about this is the change was made not on Raw, but rather on Wednesday via a social media post from WWE.
Yeah.
So, which means that the finish has changed, as far as I can tell.
Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I was thinking, is it just because they've realised it's a bit samey compared to everything on the card?
It very much is samey. We've seen this before.
Well, Corbin's aligned once again with Drew and with Lashley and Leo Rush, so they're probably going to get involved at some point. Although Lashley has a match elsewhere on the card with Finn Balor.
Yeah, which to me means that Braun probably isn't just going to batter all of them. It could mean, I think this makes it more likely for a Corbin win. Yes,
I think so as well. Do you think, is this making you more looking forward to the match, even though you didn't want to see it originally?
No, not even slightly.
It's making me a little bit more inclined to sort of...
Maybe something cool will happen, but I think it's just, it means that there's going to be shenanigans. We've just seen it all before.
I know, it's the most raw match on the card, isn't it?
Right, and I know you've got to get Braun on a pay-per-view, because he's Braun and everything, but if you don't have any plans for him, like, it's just...
I feel like I'd rather have seen Asuka on this pay-per-view, but she's obviously been gone for a while.
100%, yeah, I read an interesting report that she's being kept off TV just to put all of the focus on Becky, Ronda, Charlotte, which makes sense. Apparently there is a plan in place for her at WrestleMania, but if those three are involved in the Raw Women's Championship match, right, who's left on SmackDown to fill that hole? Carmella?
I'm assuming, hopefully, that it'll pick up before Fastlane.
And then we can
really move into the next gear as we hurtle down the road to WrestleMania. Oh, we don't have one in the office. We should get one. So now we're going to talk about the impending return of Kevin Owens. He was in that video package on Raw, not video package, that promo on Raw, in a bowling alley with his son. And
Loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It's really humanised him, if that makes sense. It's done its job. If these reports are to be believed. You go ahead. Well,
the reports are courtesy of the Wrestling Observer, and they suggest that, well, two things. One, that he's likely to come back in time for a match at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Which is exciting news.
Yeah, he said a month and a bit away on Raw, so yeah.
Which is exciting because I just think he's great, and I wouldn't want him to miss out on WrestleMania. I think he deserves it.
KO Mania.
KO Mania 3 it'll be, I believe. 4. Did he miss one due to injury? No, it became only a 4.
Yeah.
Nice. And also, that he'll apparently, as this video suggested, he'll be coming back as a babyface, as an everyman.
Yes, Meltzer has said that...
Hard times.
Yeah. That he's going to be the anti-Mr. Perfect, which to me just sounds like he's going to be really rubbish. But I think what he means is the arrogance that was there in the Kevin Owens, the ego that was there, is going to be stripped away, and he will be presented as you and I. Well, not you and I, which works so well for him. He's a great heel and everything, but I always thought that he was a heel who always had a point. There was always he was right in what he was saying. Right. And maybe that doesn't make the best heel all the time. So it was very difficult to hate Kevin Owens because he's so funny and he's so charismatic. So I actually think this role could work out tremendously for him.
I don't know. I'm in two minds because I love him as a heel, and I know you could argue about the effectiveness of heels that get cheated, but today every heel gets cheated if they're good. But I just think if they're good, and he is good in the ring, but I just love him as a heel so much. I love things he does, like when he'd wind up for a big dive and then he'd just roll out and just like punch them, or just stuff like that.
Yeah. I think he could maybe still do that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, when that bowling alley promo aired and he went up and it gutter ball, or whatever it's called, I was just like, oh man, he's so likeable. He turned back to the camera and he's there with his kids and everything, and I just thought, yeah, man, that's somebody that I could actually get behind because he seems like a human being, and there aren't that many human beings.
You're right, I do see your point, especially in the era of, or the post-John Cena era of like, really superhuman baby faces, often quite cruel baby faces as well.
Yes, yeah.
Cena was a bit of a bully at times, a bit of a meanie. And also the era of stupid babyface. I hope he doesn't fall into the trap of being a stupid babyface, because often they do come across as a little bit naive. Everyone suddenly turns into Sting and gets betrayed all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that if any babyface can still outfox the heels in a bit of an Eddie Guerrero way, that's a good position for Kevin Owens to be in, hopefully. I hope so. Anyway.
I just can't wait for him to come back.
Yeah, same.
Really can't wait. And Sammy.
Can you think of anyone that you'd like to see him wrestle at WrestleMania? I'm just trying to think now about just anyone.
Yeah, not Sammy.
Not Sammy.
That's it.
Yeah. I'd like to see him against an NXT call-up.
You know what? If the babyface character is to be believed, if that report is to be believed, EC3 to me seems like you've got the ego and the arrogance there against the everyman Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I like that.
EC3 should go over there, but yeah.
Well, yeah, he needs to, kind of, doesn't he? Yeah, I like that. I'd just like to see him against anyone. You can get the best out of anyone, apart from Chris Jericho when Vince was annoyed at him. But never mind. That was so harsh from Vince, that. It's one of the best matches of the night. And finally, we're going to take a look at the details of the ticket sales for All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing, which takes place in Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada, in May. Well, they did all right, didn't they?
So it sold out in what, 4.5 minutes?
Right.
There were 43,500 registrations from people who wanted to buy, getting in on that market, so you're able to purchase. Obviously, not all of those were going to buy tickets. Some of them are just going to be registering their interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, to sell out that capacity in 4.5 minutes is absolutely insane.
Well, Ross wrote an article for the site last night, I think, where he said that it absolutely smashes the 30 minutes it took for the 11,000 plus tickets for All In to sell out.
Which everyone was just like, wow, that's amazing. When that happened, that's amazing. But to an increased capacity venue with 43,500 people registering their interest is unbelievable. And 4 minutes is crazy, absolutely crazy.
I wonder what's going to happen. I'm thinking too far in the future. I should just enjoy the wave for now. But what happens when it stops? Every show stops selling out quicker and quicker and quicker. It starts to level out. Well, this is people are going to be like, oh, it's going downhill, but I don't know.
This does pose a question of sustainability because there's a lot of hype around it at the moment. But I would suggest with that level of interest that they're never really going to struggle to sell out a show fairly quickly. Sure, we're not going to get 4 minutes every time. Yeah. But the interest is absolutely huge. And when the TV deal comes in, that's likely going to introduce All Elite Wrestling to a new, more mainstream casual audience, and you'll see an increase in ticket sales there and probably a wider demographic too. I'm hoping that, and it probably will. I'm just hoping that like production and everything looks good. The way it looks, I hope looks good. Well, All In looked great. Yes, it did. It was I believe the Ring of Honor production staff helped out with it. I think judging by the press conference that they did, they had pyro for pretty much everyone there. They did have production pyro. Is clearly on their minds. That's fair enough. Very encouraging. I just want to run down the card that we know. So obviously it's not the complete card, but Omega Jericho has been announced. That's been kind of confirmed for the main event. They brawled at the press conference. I'm not too wild about it, you know. No, nor am I. I don't want to be a Deborah Downer, but I just feel like we've seen it already now. Yeah, I agree. I don't know, they'll do something new. It'll be a great match, but there are other matches. The next one that you're about to mention that I'm far more hyped for. Hangman Page versus Pac or Jordy Nev. That's going to be fantastic. That's going to be really good, hopefully. Pac, I watched a match of his this week. He's been in the form of his life. He had a match against a man called Casey over in Dragon Gate. Okay. He was defending his championship and he did defend it. He hit him at one point with a shooting star press, but the guy was stood, bent over like that, and he just landed on his back like that. Oh, it was gnarly. A triple threat match between Britt Baker, Nyla Rose and Kylie Ray. I don't know anything really about Nyla Rose. No, I'm not too familiar. Britt Baker and Kylie, I've seen matches of. She's the one who wears the Pokemon gear. Yeah, great. Wanted to win because of that. Britt Baker impressed at All In as part of the Fatal 4-Way Women's match. She was tremendous, yeah. They were already good in that match. But now obviously they've gone, I think Chelsea Green's gone to WWE. I can't remember who exactly, but it was... Yeah. Tessa was there. She's obviously now a big player in Impact. SoCal Uncensored, which is Daniels Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, against SEMA and two partners from OWE. That's that promotion over in China, where the wrestlers have just been developing at a crazy rate. Yeah, all I know is that we're going to see things that we've never seen before. That's what I know. I haven't watched any OWE. Excited to see what happens. I've watched a little bit. I tried to watch the first show and it was too
There was too much going. Obviously the language barrier, but then they had a big opening ceremony. And then there were like the 3 squads, and there was just 3 huge stables of like 7 guys each. All one was like a blue team and a red team and a black team. And I was like, oh god, this is too much.
Okay.
And then, but the wrestling itself. There's a good article online that I will share on my Twitter. I can't remember who it's by, but he basically says these are 5 guys to watch out for if they come over to All Elite Wrestling.
Gotcha.
And the main one, there's some gifs of him in the article, and he's crazy. He does like he's like the next. You know how you've got like Rey Mysterio, and then that led into the athleticism of like. Currently, it's like Ricochet and Ospreay.
Yes.
He could be like the next one, doing even crazy. He's incredibly agile. And finally, I want to talk about this match, which it's not really a match yet, but it's Cody versus mystery opponent. We don't know who he's going to be wrestling yet, but they've been a bit cheeky. They've been teasing it, but we don't know who it is. Have you got anyone in mind?
Yes.
Oh,
Ambrose.
Oh yeah.
In a battle of who Vince has screwed over more, Stardust or silly wacky Dean Ambrose.
Oh, he screwed over Cody Moore.
Man, and Moxley versus Rose would be fantastic. He screwed over Cody Moore, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ambrose feels like a star.
He won a WWE
Not that Cody
championship.
doesn't now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But no, that's a good one, that. Do you think it'll be hardcore as well? Because Cody can wrestle hardcore style.
Yeah,
saw him against Lethal.
A Texas bull rope match?
Yeah, it was awesome. He came out on a bike, and he had his shirt said "Lethal sucks eggs." It was so like old school NWA. It was brilliant. Yes, I think maybe I like yours better, but maybe, and I don't know how the contract situation works. Maybe Marty Scurll.
Okay.
There's been a little bit of tension between them in the Being the Elite series they did after Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
They're all backstage. They're like, we're going to win. We're going to bring it home. Clean sweep for the Elite. And they all lost their matches. So there's little scenes of every one of them coming backstage being like, and then they're like, it's all right. Bucks are next. They're going to win. They're going to win. And the Bucks come back. They're like, no. And the pre-show, Marty goes out and loses. With he was tagging with someone, I can't quite remember who it was, but he comes backstage and they're like, yes, sorry guys, we just couldn't, and they're all like, it's all right guys, and Cody just walks right up to him and goes, God damn it, Marty, and then just walks off.
No, it's a match that I'd like to see, for sure.
Yeah,
Can't wait for it.
That as well. I prefer the Ambrose one though. Moxley.
Thanks, mate. Moxley.
Jonathan Good to give us
Moxley versus Runnels Rhodes.
Right. We know it's not real. We know the business. Right, well, that's all of the news for today. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to, at Jack the Jobber. You can follow Adam at, is it just at Adam Pacitti?
Adam Pacitti, yeah.
Simple. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic. And also, if you want to, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never forget, of course, if you haven't done so already, to hit subscribe and to join us.